Hey guys, we are here with the CAMETV 8000 3-axis gimbal stabilizer. Now this one was built to support bigger sized or heavier cameras. As you can see, they're using some very beefy motors in this system right here, and it's actually more than enough power for this BlackMagic 4K camera. I had to actually turn down the power quite a bit, so this thing can fly heavier systems. I believe it's designed for some of those fairly built up RED cameras as well. So a good system if you have to fly bigger or heavier cameras, but you could still tune it to fly smaller cameras, even a GH4 or a Canon 5D Mark II, 3 DSLR. You just tune up the PID settings, and as you can see here, it comes assembled. There's no building, no tweaking. One of the cons though is that this is the unit. Top handle does not come off, side handles do not fold down or anything. This is the size that you have to travel with, and without the camera, it's probably at least twice the weight of the carbon fiber CAMETV gimbals. So it's a very sturdy, heavier system. Again, mostly designed for the bigger, larger, heavier cameras. Anyways, I have my BlackMagic 4K camera here. As you can see, we could support 15mm rails if we wanted to add something like a follow focus to this, which I don't have. But adjusting or balancing your gimbal, very easy, no tools required, very fast. So to adjust side to side, you've got this one knob here, and then you just push your camera side to side. The forward and back is done through a quick release. So we have a quick release mounted to the camera, and then we slide the camera in. We can adjust the height of the camera up and down here across the motors. We're using these knobs over here. And then your yaw is just one knob, one clamp knob over here. So that's it. Very fast to set up. And again, easy to support cameras at this size. This is the case that it comes with. It's not really a hard case. It's just kind of a padded case. As you can see here, we have the stand. You only get one stand. I just happen to have one here. But this is an example of what the stand would look like when it's packed away. And there's some hardware here that you need to use to assemble the stand. Now, one of the things though is once you have the stand set up, you have to break it down to get it back in the bag. Otherwise, it's not going to fit back in this case. You do get like a charger. They give you a user manual on DVD. I haven't looked at this. I didn't need to. The battery goes right up here on top of this handle. There's a cover that hides this thing. It's just your standard 11 volt with a Dean's. So that goes there. Let me put this away. This gimbal is very stable if you can get it tuned up correctly. Now it does come tuned, pre-tuned. So for most of you guys, you're just going to put your camera in here and you're probably up and running. I like to tune it my way, so I went ahead and changed the settings myself to what I like. So let's take a look at that. Power it on, you just hit this button, and that's it. We're ready to go. So if you've seen my other videos, what I like to do is Profile 1 is where I have follow mode on my pitch, so I can point up or I can point down, or if I pan, right or left. So I have follow modes. On my Profile 2, I have no follow on my tilt. So as you can see, it's not tilting, but I still have follow on my pan right or left. 3, I've actually disabled everything, so it's not going to tilt and it's not going to follow. So as you can see, very stable system. And then if I'm out in the field and for some reason I need to calibrate the level of my camera, I do 4 clicks. That's it. My camera would be level at this point. 5 clicks for the gyros or motors. So I would just hold your camera frame as square as possible. That's it. We've calibrated our motors and our sensors. So those are the profiles that I set in here. Again, this unit is running 32-bit dual IMU, the Alex Mo software, So you can tune it any way you want. This is how I do it. So very nice system if you like to kind of tweak your own settings. And then again, I have a long press for my inverted mode. So what I would do is I would hold this button down, flip the unit over, and we are in inverted mode. If I go to profile 1, again, I can tilt up and down as well as pan left and right. So I can operate in this way so I don't have to hold the camera up as high with the handles. And then if I need to go back, I can just hold the button or hold my joystick. It goes limp. I flip it over. And we're back in normal mode. All right, anyways, that is just kind of a quick look. We will try to do some samples soon, but the weather hasn't been great out here. This is, the 8000 version, which is designed again for heavier and larger cameras, but you could still use it for all the smaller cameras if you want to deal with the size and the bulk, if you're okay with that. Some of the cons you guys might want to be aware of is, again, the stand. It requires tools to set up and break down. So if you're okay with traveling with it like this, you're good. If you have to break it down back in the case, you're gonna have to use a tool to kind of take it apart, put it back in the box. The battery up here, it's a standard 3S LiPo 11 volt battery, same as most of the other CAMETV gimbals, except you wanna make sure you get one with the same dimension so you can get it to fit back in this door. If you get one too long, it's not gonna fit properly up here. So that's something to be aware of right over there. The handles, none of this folds down, none of this comes off, so you have to travel with it like this. It's actually a very large unit. But one of the things too is that these handles here on the side, they are threaded on. So the good is that you can unthread it. The bad is that if you're holding the gimbal a certain way, it can come loose and then you're unthreading your handle. So that's one of the things that I found kind of quirky is I wish they had made this more solid somehow so that it doesn't just loosen up if I'm holding it maybe with one handle or something. But outside of that, very powerful system. Whatever motors they're using is super strong. I had to tune it way down just for this BlackMagic camera, and this camera is fairly heavy. And then as far as the Alex Most 32-bit dual IMU, again, great system. Everything is easy to balance. So I like it. It's just, big when you're working with the big cameras. I like to use the smaller gimbals, but if I have to go with a bigger one because of this camera here, I would use something like this. Anyways, if you have any questions about this, hit me up at the blog, cheesycam.com.